Good morning. It's day 34 of my rainbow diet experiment. This morning I still have my broken scale, so I weighed myself a few times and I weigh anywhere between 142.4 and 144.4. If I weigh 144.4, I've gained weight. If I weigh 142.4, I've lost weight. So I just don't know. My new scale is on the way, I've been told, so hopefully in the next couple days I'll get that and we'll start over with whatever that scale has as my base weight. In the meantime, the last couple days have been not great. I've had I've had 2 episodes of eating out this week, and I've had 4 days where I've been just over my calorie intake goal. Now my calorie intake goal is set at a deficit, so 3 out of those 4 days I was still at a deficit. So I'm not too worried about it, but I am mindful of it. And my app today that I record my food in has said that there's 3 ways to avoid excessive calories. One is to not snack between meals. I haven't been doing that, actually, and that's been fine. The second is to reduce the amount that you eat, and the third is to be really, really careful around high-density calorie foods. So the last 2 are where I can adjust. I was thinking, like, last night we had this beautiful dinner with friends over, and at the end of the dinner, one thing I didn't record is we had some ice cream bars for dessert. And I could have just eaten half of the ice cream bar. I was at home. I could have frozen just put the other half in the back in the freezer. So there's one thing I could have done. I could have had half a sausage instead of a whole sausage plus the roux burger that we had for dinner last night. Yes, so I could have done both those things. I could have been a bit more careful in the amount that I was eating, particularly I would combine 2 and 3, particularly of those foods that I know are high-density calorie foods. Eating out, maybe I could have, just had half the whatever, So that's what I'm going to tell myself now. Just eat half and see how you go with that. I haven't been feeling as hungry all the time, so I can't blame hunger for eating as much as I have. I think for me it's more like this is what I'm given, so that's what I eat. Or that's a portion that there is, so I'll just eat the portion, particularly eating out, because it's hard to count your calories. And if like this particular chain is in my diet app, so I know if I've had this, it's that many calories or whatever, or it's on the menu. So yeah, I think I can work on that. So I will over this next week or so. That'll be one of my goals. We've got a fairly good meal plan this week. We will eat out once this week, and it will be calorie dense because we're hoping to do a Palmer night at our local. So I'll need to be mindful of trying to create a deficit as I work up to that. The calorie counting game is so challenging because it's true and it's not true. Like, I know for me, I don't think my weight accords with the calories that I eat normally, which is one of the reasons I'm documenting everything and confessing when there's something that I haven't been documented, like, the ice cream last night. Because I know that it's a human tendency to be optimistic about what we eat. We tend to think we eat better than we do. Lots of studies have shown that. So that's one of my questions is, am I just delusional, Because honestly, that's how you get treated sometimes in the medical system, is that you just don't know what you're talking about. You're obviously this weight because you've eaten this many calories or whatever. And I don't think that's true for me. I think it's there's something else going on. If we could figure out what's going on, maybe we could fix it or treat it. For me, I suspect it's inflammation, but yeah, so I'm looking at ways to control that through the rainbow way of eating. But yeah, anyway, so I've lost my train of thought, but I was just thinking that the calories stuff is complicated, because there is a sense where I know that if I eat over and above my target calories, I'll be in trouble, because my body is obviously more sensitive than some others to the calories that I put in. But I also think it is about what you eat, not just the calorie content. I do think we tend to have way too much ultra-processed food in our diets. And so the thing I like about the rainbow way of eating is it's a way of me thinking about a meal that forces me to think in a generally unprocessed way. Or the processed foods are sort of like spices, or, just little things that you add on, maybe a dessert, maybe this, maybe that. But, for me, I'm thinking rainbow first, then I'm thinking protein, and maybe a little bit of fat added if there's not a fat already in the meal. Or if it's in a whole form like nuts or seeds or something. So yeah, so that's sort of my conception about food. I hope I do a bit better this week calorie-wise. And we'll see how I go with the new scale and stuff. But I will continue with the rainbow way of eating. I think it's a good way of eating, trying to get that rainbow of whole foods in their natural state as much as possible in each meal. So that's me checking in. I'll see you at breakfast.